this week. You have to know who you are. I know my thunderclap game is crazy in these streets. They may not be in the streets. It may be, like I said, on private at this moment in time. Um, but honestly, I never even thought that before. I never thought I would put it in private. I when I found out and I fell in love with doing camming, I figured my husband would leave. I always thought I was gonna have that husband. He would leave and he would go to the strip club. I always wanted to be with an older guy. Like, okay, you done did it all, felt it all, experienced it all to the full. At this point, you're family man. You gonna go out with your friends, maybe by yourself, go to the strip club, throw some 20s, have a good time, come home. That's it. Um, but I never thought I would ever stop camming. I feel like, while he's out doing that, I'm gonna be home doing this. I never saw camming the way it's actually depicted, um, how it was depicted and how it's being depicted now. To me, if you want to be a successful cam model, and it's just a little bit of tea on that, just a little bit of tea on it. You want to be a successful cam model. I always said back in the day, you want to make money. If money is your goal, don't do it. Unless you already have money to put into it, don't do it. And the reason why I said that is because it's an experience. Even being a stripper, I don't know if I've admitted it before, but I'll admit it now with no struggle at all. Before camming, there was stripping for me. I haven't ever gone to a club and actually stripped. But I mean, that's what my intention was. High school, I just knew I was going to be going to Greenville, North Carolina, and I was going to be jumping on them poles. Bad day by going to Greenville, back, what was it? Greenville State University. And I'm only dropping this tea because if anybody try to go look me up, you were not going to find me. Never even lived there. So I can, But I'm just saying, in high school, though, that's what my intention was. My intention, I'm going to go full ride scholarship, get me a business degree, and anything else I decide to do um, at that school, in that city, in that state. And I was going to pay for it at night, Diamond style, Lisa Ray style, Players Club. And I was going to do it too. I would have done it. I didn't want a place on campus. I wanted my own apartment. I had huge dreams when it came down to stuff like that. That was literally my intention. Some people say, oh, I know you was a little girl, you didn't think about stripping. I wasn't that little girl that wasn't thinking about stripping. In this case, it's actually in reverse. I was still a girl. Lord mercy. I actually was that little girl. Yes. But see, in order to understand it, I'm going to tell you the reason why. I have to tell you the reason why. For you to get a better comprehension on why I was that little girl and wanted to do that. My dad, and this is no shade to my dad. My dad's energy is always around me, along with my mom's and all that good stuff. Um, my dad was what I consider to be a wankster growing up. And if you know what a gangster is, you should obviously know what a wankster is. And the only reason why I viewed him like that is because my dad was not like his friends. He wasn't like them. No, he wasn't a goody goody two shoes or a good boy either. No, that's not my point. I'm gonna say it like I've always said it because it's the truth. I take my dad's energy and his hustle and what he wanted to do, and I make it look good. My dad didn't. If he wanted to do something crazy, yeah, you can guarantee it's not gonna work out. You guarantee he's gonna get locked up. You guarantee he's gonna get in trouble, or somebody gonna wanna hurt him. That's just what it is. I'm really not being funny when I say that. That's just what it is. Me, anything I ever put my hands to work to do, that's always came out good for my greatest and highest good. God's always had me. Both with my dad's desire to hustle as well as my mom's actual hustle. And my mom was a good girl. When I say hustle for her, she was a hustler. She cleaned houses for $10 an hour. She put out her own business cards. She worked 3 or 4 or 5 jobs in one day. And when I say jobs, what I mean is she was a home health. In the end, we're close to the end of her work history. She was a home health worker. And she didn't do the job of a PCA, which is a personal care aide. She was actually doing the job of a CNA, a certified nurse's assistant. She was actually doing the work of an LPN. And as a registered nurse, she did it all. And when she got with certain companies, when they saw her work ethic and when they saw that she was actually doing that which these other people were supposed to be doing, but they weren't because they were lazy, they started paying her the same amount of money they would pay them, and they would just kept her at her same title as a PCA. That's just what it is. So I took that same kind of hustle. My mom could sell anything. She was never, she was a good girl, Christian girl, never touched drugs or anything of that nature. But when I say her hustle, that was a hustle. It was nothing for her. And that same hustle mixed with my dad's hustle mixed inside of me, yes, Lord. That's just what it is. I grew up in the age of street racing on the back roads. I grew up in the age of grandma in the kitchen frying up fried pork chops, fried catfish, and all that. And my dad and his friends and his brothers sitting around the table playing cards and making money. And of course, the food smelling good. The guys don't want to go nowhere because they want to drink and they want to make money. So my granny is selling her food and she's selling her drinks for crazy cash, or them throwing crazy parties with some food and some plates and all that good stuff. That's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up. Some on the stories and some on the actual experiences. So anything I've ever put my hands to work to do, anything I have ever put my hands to work to do, it's always came out, and the money has always been made. And way before I started doing that, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, every girl needs a thug in her life every once in a while. And I grew up feeling like that was the definition of a man. I mean, not really, but really. And I would say not really, because I gotta say this. My granddad was also a definition of a man, as in my mom's dad. He was a good man. He didn't do hustling, gigs, or anything like that. He worked. He just worked his butt off. He worked at the naval base in Norfolk, Virginia, all the way up until he was legally blind. And doing that work as a welder is what actually blinded him. But he also had a full-time job at a hospital not too far from where they lived. So he pulled 2 full-time jobs and put himself through school. So, good man, good work ethic. Everything that you could imagine. Teaching about how a man is supposed to treat a woman, how a woman is supposed to act, and how to balance books and textbooks and pay the bills, So, when I say, yeah, my idea of a man, yeah, that was my... Yeah, that's what's get your coochie wet over there. And this was so this is what you need to make sure that you handle along with getting the coochie wet. Put it together, mix it up, and see what you get, kind of, Because until they started talking to us about different careers and stuff, being a lawyer, being a doctor, anything like that, where I was from, the only kind of money that you ever saw was illegal money. You never saw any legal money. I mean, when I say money, I mean thousands of dollars. Like, you didn't go out there and you didn't come home with you got $400 this week. Nah, I mean, my mom got that. That's what she got, working at different like QVC, Smithfield Packing, Purdue, Gwaltney, and things like that. But I mean money. I mean, I left out of here and I came back with $5,000. I never knew that she could be like a registered nurse and make $16-$28 an hour. And what it came to, before taxes, and then what you got after taxes. I knew about the fast money before I knew about the not necessarily fast money, but also not necessarily the slow money. So yeah, I was that girl. That's just what it is. I did want to strip. I was that little girl that wanted to strip. And I had my whole mindset around what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. I don't know how we got here, but we're going to keep going because I'm being guided and I'm being given the grace to keep going. I'm going to tell you how it works though. My last job was actually working at Walmart. And one day I'll go down my history just a little bit more before PSOing and camming, which what led